and welcome to another edition of the glorious podcast, Are We Friends Yet? Where I, John...
And I, Flick...
You can't just... How about carrying on a bit more than that? I mean, it was like...
I'm just taking, the lazy road here.
Yeah.
And I, Flick...
Yeah, and then you explain... You could jump in, explain stuff.
Offer you, John... pop culture
and
that
you,
I,
Flick...
have adored in previous lives for you, John, to enjoy.
Yes,
currently.
basically what we do is I'm a middle-aged man, Flick is a young woman, we swap pop culture and it's things that we really love, and then we come back and we have a conversation about how much we either loved them or detested them with all of the marrow in our bones.
Yes. And the idea as... I think we might have different ideas because
Okay. Well, let's clear the air on this. Tell me what you think this is about.
I think the idea... I feel like I'm on a chat show now.
I know, it's good, isn't it?
It's clearly there. Okay, Oprah. I thought that this was about finding things that you thought the other person would like as well. So I thought there was a bit of a... So when I think of something, I'm like, yeah, I genuinely reckon John might like this. And I'm always surprised when you don't. Whereas I feel like you give me things to make me sad.
No, right. I give you things. I give Flick things. I give you things that I absolutely adore. I absolutely love with a great passion.
But
and
do you also think that I will like them?
I hope that you will like them. I know that these are things that you will never come into contact with otherwise.
Okay.
I know that these are things that you would never choose.
Yes.
And for me, it's very much like, here's my heart and soul. Here's all of the things I love. Here's on a plate. These are the glorious things that I hope that you will love.
Please be gentle with them.
Yeah, exactly. And then you come back here and you're not.
I'm quite gentle. I could be worse.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm reserving it because I like you.
Okay. Thanks for that.
That's okay.
Anyway, we're doing another video, as you can see, and if you're just listening to this, there is no video.
Yeah, which I need to remember because I listened to our video last time.
Yeah.
And I'm all video.
Yeah.
I know I don't. I've checked out of the people listening. I'm giving them no description at all about what's happening.
Yeah.
Purely relying on
the visual.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm rolling my sleeves up to this one. So this, I know it might be terrifying. Yeah, I know. Don't worry. If you're listening to the podcast, I know that you are listening. It's fine. I'm here for you.
John will look after you.
I will look after you.
Whereas, hey, to the video people.
Well done for using hand actions on a podcast. Anyway, right. So, shall we just launch? Shall we launch into it? Because we've had a delightful preamble.
We have. I feel like you need
Do I need to?
Yeah.
Okay. We've had a delightful preamble, and now it's time to get to the nitty-gritty of whether we are friends yet, and whether the things that we have chosen to share have actually gone down well at all.
Okay, so last week I was on the road of fierce ladies, and I wanted to crack on with that road. So I gave you Catherine Ryan, and then when it was my turn last week to give you a listen to, I decided to keep on that road, and I thought, okay, who's audio of a fierce feminist lady who's very clever, very spiky, and so I gave you Lily Allen.
Yes.
You gave me something I've been dreading for a while, is we went to Peter Greenaway. And I've been waiting for this moment, and I could have got The Cook That Eats the Lover. I don't know if that's the specific title.
No, and the cook doesn't eat the lover. The thief eats the lover, as prepared by the cook for the wife. So the cook, the thief, his wife, and her lover.
Oh, it's a lot of... I mean, if every film listed all of their main characters...
The two cowboys and a robber. Yeah, actually, I think that'd be brilliant.
Do you?
Yeah, tweet to us at Friends Yet and tell us which films you would describe by simply using the jobs of the characters.
Harry Potter and the ginger friend and the bossy friend.
Well, no. That would be like wizardy students. One's a bit bossy.
Yeah.
Or maybe Ghostbuster, Ghost. Oh no, they're all Ghostbusters, aren't
Apart from the flobby thing.
Yeah, flobby thing. Okay, we haven't thought this out. It's not going to be a hashtag that's going to crack on. Right.
Hashtag flobby thing.
Yeah, hashtag flobby thing.
Get on with it.
Get in contact with us at friendsyet. You can also email arewefriendsyet@outlook.com. You can go to Instagram, which is arewefriendsyetpod. And you can go to Facebook, which is arewefriendsyet #podcast for no good reason. So, I'm getting by the way that you were sort of launching into this. You wanted to start with your feedback on.
Not necessarily.
No. Well,
I'm
you choose.
alright.
You choose. Tell me who's going first.
Oh,
Do you want me to go first?
yes.
Okay,
Yes,
right.
I do.
So, this week I have mostly been listening to Lily Allen.
Riding through the city on my bike all day, 'cause the filth took away my license. It doesn't get me down and I feel okay, 'cause the sights that I'm seeing are priceless. Everything seems to look as it should, but I wonder what goes on behind doors. A fella looking dapper and he's sitting with a slap, and then I see it's a pimp and it's desperate.
How much did you listen to it?
I listened to it a number of times.
Okay, so you didn't do the, oh shit, it's Sunday night.
No,
meeting her in the morning.
No, absolutely no. No, I didn't do that. I did you've sent it to me. I'm now going to listen. I'm sorry. I don't do the oh God, it's Sunday night thing. I'll have you know.
Okay.
I've always you do. Don't you? Okay. So anyway, so I got a playlist of Lily Allen, and there were various different tracks from it, from different albums.
They were mostly from the debut album.
Okay.
Mostly from that one.
Yeah.
Which
There was
I
the Mark Ronson one.
Yes, and I threw that in because I really like it.
Yeah.
And then there are a few from more of a recent album. So
Yeah.
It's Not Fair.
Yeah.
And Who'd Have Known?
Yes.
I give you Who'd Have Known.
How does Who'd Have Known go?
Who'd Have Known? Who'd Have Known?
Oh yes, yeah. You gave me Who'd Have Known.
I really enjoy that one because I think there was a famous spat between her and Elton John.
Yeah.
And in the video, she captures him and like wraps him up, and it's really funny.
Okay.
Because I think there was some famous back and forth.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone else remembers this. I think there was some famous back and forth where there was like diva-iness and they were
Yeah.
getting at each other through the press. And then they sort of got on in the end, and they came out and did this quite amusing video where she's like his stalker.
No, I've literally no idea.
If you get bored at lunch break, have a look at the video.
I
It's
certainly will do.
amusing. It's okay.
Anyway, so I got the Lily Allen, and I've always enjoyed some of Lily Allen's work. The singles have always sort of resonated with me a little bit. I've not gone down a Lily Allen rabbit
I've never
hole.
got an album and
No.
had a look.
But she's on the list of artists where I keep thinking, you know what, I really ought to know more about Lily Allen. I really ought to
Yes.
listen to more Lily Allen.
Yeah.
So when you gave me Lily Allen, I was actually sort of reasonably relaxed. It wasn't something where I started to think, I don't know about this. And it's interesting that you have gone down the sort of the strong feminine voice, because I think that Lily Allen has got a direct connection with one of the other strong female voices that you've given me previously.
That's interesting. Who's that?
But I liked Lily Allen so much more than the other strong female voice you
Who's
gave
the
me.
other strong female voice?
Right, the other strong female voice is Billie Eilish.
Oh, okay. Well, the thing is, though, is that Billie, she's not saying anything poignant.
No, but she is strong as in she knows her vision.
She does know her vision.
Yeah. So it's about that control. It's not about sort of
Yeah.
empowerment or saying something about life in particular, but I think that there is a huge connection between Billie Eilish and Lily Allen.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think they've both got unique sounds.
Yeah.
And I think they're both really in that. Like, no matter whether Lily's doing one that's a bit more sentimental
I love
or
it.
really
I love it that
spiky.
you call her Lily. It's
Lily.
like you know each
She's
other.
my friend. Hey, Lily.
So, hey, Lily, if
Lily.
you're watching this, firstly, why? How the hell did you find this?
But thank you.
Secondly, Betty Mate. Bezzy mate?
Definitely.
Bezzy-
I
Bezzy
reckon
mate?
we'd be Bezies.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
She's Bezies with Pink as well. They did the
Is she?
joint song
Oh, well, oh.
where they're cutting up a carrot pretending it's a man's penis.
Okay, let's investigate that in a moment, shall we? Let's get back to that.
But yeah, I think they're both, even when Lily is going on to this more of a sentimental tone,
Yeah.
she's still very strong in this genre that sounds like her. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
where she goes.
Yeah, in the same way that Billie
same way
Eilish
that
is.
Billie
Yeah,
does.
yeah, exactly. But for me, what joined them was that a lot of Lily Allen's music and a lot of what I listen to of Billie Eilish are both terrifically bleak. They
Okay,
are
yes.
very, very bleak ways of looking at the world.
I feel like Lily Allen is a little bit like, she's totally different, but she's got that satirical, like,
Well, you know,
Jack D.
Yeah, you know how I told you that I like my comedy cold and
Yeah,
with no emotion.
she's definitely
She
that.
is cold with no. That, that is what I loved about Lily Allen. I'm going to say now, I thoroughly enjoyed the
Did you?
experience.
Did you love Nan,
properly.
You're a Window Shopper?
Now,
'Cause that killed me. That made me laugh.
Actually, I'm going to say that was the only down moment for me
Okay.
because I just thought it was a little bit too
It's
cruel.
just too mean.
It was just a bit too
It's
mean.
not necessary.
No, it wasn't. It's like talking about holes in colostomy bags. It was just a little bit. It was a little.
Mad
I'm
as
much-
fuck and you're barely alive.
Look, I'm much closer to Nan's age in Nan, You're a Window Shopper than you are.
I've
I
never
can
heard
see,
it before.
I can see that coming in my near future.
John, you're a window
No
shopper.
shopper.
So
Yeah.
I've never heard it. Oh,
What was it? What have you done? What was that?
It's alright, it's fine.
Oh, it's okay. Oh, it's only. Oh, you've only broken the DVD
It's not even
box.
broken, it's just a pop. It's just a popper. It's fine. So,
Yeah.
I had never heard...
Just for God's sake, just
Oh,
give
my
me
hand.
that back.
My hand is in
Anyway, yeah. So you'd never heard Nan, You're
never heard
a
Nan,
Shopper.
You're a Window Shopper before. And when I was collating your playlist,
Yeah.
Spotify, other streaming facilities available,
Yeah.
threw it up for me and put it in there randomly.
Yeah.
And I listened to it and I just like sort of just giggled incessantly and I was like, this is mean and it's unnecessary and there's no point to it, but it's really funny.
I mean, here's the thing. I appreciated the way that it was written. I just thought it was a bit compared to the rest of the stuff. It was
Yes.
just a little bit
Yeah,
cruel.
and she doesn't, even though she's cruel, you usually feel like it feels so justified. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So she does this one, Fuck You,
Yes.
which I love, that makes me think
Right.
of Katie Hopkins.
Can we? Yeah. Can we? Okay. You're taking
I'm getting
over
really
because you want to
excited.
say what you. Spotlight on me. Thank you.
You got to
There we go. Right. So let's go on to fuck you.
Okay.
You're gonna have to bleep. I edit this. I'm gonna have to bleep it so much. Right. Fuck You is an absolutely glorious piece of music, simply because it invokes the sort of, not sort of bubblegum pop, sort of 1960s Euro pop kind of
Yeah,
thing that
it's
you'd
really
get.
sweet.
It's sort of bouncy, it's sweet, it's jaunty, and it's bleak as hell.
Look inside your tiny mind, then look a bit harder. 'Cause we're so uninspired, so sick and tired of all the hatred you harbor. So you say it's not okay to be gay, well I think you're just evil. You're just some racist who can't tie my laces. Your point of view is medieval. Fuck you very, very much. 'Cause we hate what you do and we hate your whole crew. So please don't stay in touch. Fuck you.
Yeah,
It's just, well, fuck you.
Yeah.
We've got the one about going. I'm going to do your mates. What's that one?
Oh, Not a Big Brother.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is the one I said to you last week, that there is
Yeah.
one song on there that makes my male friends cringe, and they go, "It's just not necessary," and that's the one.
No, actually, I thought that was hilarious. I thought that was just brilliant. that song basically is shaming the ex-partner or the short-term boyfriend of
Yeah.
being just crap in bed and you're an awful person.
Now listen, I think you and me have come to the end of our time. What you want, some kind of reaction? Well, okay, that's fine. Alright, how would it make you feel if I said you never made me come? In the year and a half that we spent together, yeah, I never really had much fun. All the times that I said I was sober, well, I'm afraid I lied. I've been lying next to you and you next to me all the while I was high as a kite. I can see it in your face as you break it to me gentle, yeah, you really must think you're great. Well, let's see how you feel in a couple of weeks when I work my way through your maze. I never wanted it to end up this way. You've only got yourself to blame.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna do your mate, and you just watch it. And actually, I love that because she's got so much power in that whole song. Of you think you've got the power dynamic, do you, Mr. Patriarchy?
Yeah,
Screw you! I'm doing your mate. You were shit in bed. You know that. But again, it's got that sort of tone to it of nice and bouncy.
Yes, and this is what I love about her.
And London. One of the
cracking, yeah.
big singles, and it's just got that sort of faux sort of reggae thing going on in the background, and a little bit ska, and it's bouncing along, and it's talking about, oh yeah, and this is London. I wonder what's going on, and these awful things are going on.
There was a little old lady who was walking down the road. She was struggling with bags from Tesco. There were people from the city having lunch in the park. I believe that is called al fresco. When a kid came along to offer a hand, but before she had time to accept it, hits her over the head, doesn't care if she's dead, because he's got all her jewellery and wallet.
Yeah.
Dreadful, just unpleasantness surrounding her in London.
That's sort of the point of that song, because she says it all seems nice when you're with your eyes, but it's all lies.
Yeah.
So it's quite interesting. I think that one's a really lovely one.
And you know what? If the tone had stayed the same, I would have sort of felt a little bit sort of, bit of a novelty act.
Yeah.
Sort of a bit how you felt a bit of the later Sparks.
Yeah.
Where you just thought it was a bit sort of more novelty than actually the earlier stuff where it was like better music.
Yeah.
But she didn't do that because they had the couple of tender tracks that you put in there.
Yeah.
The one about sort of reminiscing about the times when we first got together.
I like that one.
And even though it's quirky and funny and it's really sweet.
It's really
and
real.
And it picks up little signifiers that says this is somebody who's gone through all of this.
Yeah.
You know that awful rock band you gave me? Oh, the dreadful one with that ex-child star singing.
With that child.
No.
Taylor Momsen.
Yeah, Taylor Momsen. Right, Taylor Momsen, the big complaint I had for her was sort of not authentic.
Wasn't real.
Lily Allen is just so real.
Yes.
Absolutely real.
Yeah.
And you know that she's been there and she's been walking around in the boxers and the t-shirt. And you know that she's been there and she's held hands with somebody when meeting their mates.
Yeah.
Because it's absolutely real. I was already familiar with It's Not Fair.
Yes, you said.
Yeah,
yes.
It's Not Fair because that was really odd. We played that.
Used to get played on the
Well, yeah,
radio, and you were like,
we played that on we played that on BBC local radio.
He treats me with respect. He says he loves me all the time. He calls me 15 times a day. He likes to make sure that I'm fine. You know, I've never met a man who's made me feel quite so secure. He's not like all them other boys. They're all so dumb and immature. There's just one thing that's getting in the way. When we go up to bed, you're just not good. It's such a shame. I look into your eyes. I want to get to know you. And then you make this noise and it's so apparent it's all over. It's not fair. I think you're really mean. I think you're really mean.
As one of the playlist songs. And there's nothing actually in it that specifically says...
There are no rude words.
No, there's no rude words, but the entire song is all about you I love you, but the sex is crap.
Yeah. And it's not fair.
Yeah, and I think, let's face it, all of us have probably been on one side of that or the other. Mentioning no names or which side we've been on.
And if you haven't, you know now.
Yeah, if you've been touched by any of the issues in today's programme,
Don't tell us.
Don't tell us. We can't deal with that.
No, we'll mock you.
We just can't deal with our own lives, let alone your problems. No. I mean, go to a professional. Jesus. Anyway.
Literally, put YouTube down now.
Yeah, just walk away. Put the podcast down now. You see, you're all about the visual.
I am.
But anyway, so Lily Allen, the tracks you gave me have really given me an appreciation into her musicality, her ability to really spin a good lyric.
Yes,
She
fabulous.
plays with words, and you know what? You're gonna be horrified by this. There was a moment when I was driving along, I'd listened to it a couple of times, sort of on the track. I thought, you know what? I think that this is tonally similar to Uncle Mort. Because this is about all of those miserable things but the language is tonally similar, but the way that it's then presented is in a much lighter and
So you think it's
and
my
bouncy
Uncle
way.
Mort?
I think this is your Uncle Mort. Relentlessly miserable, but a little bit happy at the same time.
But I guess I get what she's on about. So she does the one song about she can't get a mortgage, but she's got the money.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
Yeah.
And spaghetti bolognese and wanting to look like Kate Moss.
Yeah.
And maybe it's because I get that stuff.
Yes.
But I don't get what Uncle Mort's on about.
That's fine.
But
don't
you
worry.
might.
Yeah, I do, because I'm a middle-aged man from nearly the north.
Sort of north. Yeah, so maybe.
Look, I was born north of the Trent. I'm from the north. That's how it works.
Okay.
It is.
That's okay.
How dare you?
I'm not going to fight you for it.
So anyway.
Keep it.
Keep your north, you dirty northerner.
Keep your northern narrative.
Ear! You're doing the sexy accent again. Anyway, so I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yay!
Thoroughly enjoyed Lily Allen and the selection of songs that you gave me. I will give my score after you have completely jumped up and down and trampled on one of my all-time favourite. This film here, this one, Peter Greenaway's The Belly of an Architect.
So I'm going to look after the podcast people.
Yeah, indeed.
He's showing the DVD.
And John holds up the DVD and then puts it back in the case properly.
It's okay, it's
fine.
It's not broken.
This is...
You can't have... Not everything can be your favourite film.
No.
Amelie's your favourite film.
Amelie is one of my favourite films. This is in my top 10.
Okay.
Belly of an Architect is always in my top 10. Amelie is always in my top 10. In fact, Amelie's probably in my top 5. My favourite film is always The Good, the Bad and the Ugly.
Really?
Yeah.
That's number one favourite film?
Yeah, always my one favourite film. And I know you hated that. Well, no, you thought it was all right and Clint Eastwood was a little bit hot.
Clint Eastwood is a very bit hot. And it was enthralling in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
It took a really long time to get there.
Well, given that is the sort of film that I enjoy,
yeah,
that might have given you a sort of sense.
I feel like you need to get busier.
Of
You've got so much time on your hands.
Right, let me give you a little bit of context for The Belly of an Architect. I actually remember this being reviewed by Barry Norman on Film 85 or whatever it was.
I don't know who he is.
Right, Barry Norman used to, Jonathan Ross used to do the film programme on BBC?
I know Jonathan Ross.
Yeah, he used to do the film programme on the BBC One.
No.
Late at night.
No.
Claudia Winkleman then took over from him, and it's been cancelled now.
Oh.
But for years and years, a film reviewer called Barry Norman did the film programme on BBC One.
Okay.
And I distinctly remember him reviewing that film.
Saying it was good.
I was far too young to watch it, but I remember seeing some of the...
Aren't we all?
I remember seeing some of the visuals that they used and just thinking, I need to see that. I need to see that. That film looks beautiful. I need to see that.
Yeah.
So that's the context in which you're now going to
talk
about Peter Greenaway's The Belly of an Architect.
This place. Well, he was idealistic enough to take all that money to Chicago.
City of blood, meat, and money.
The home of some of the best carnivorous architecture in the Western world. That is, of course, outside of Rome.
So, I put this one off.
You're leaning off into the background there. Yeah, exactly. No, come back, come back into frame.
I put this one off
Yeah.
like a terrible piece of homework. That's how this was treated in my
So
house.
have you done it on the bus?
It didn't even leave my car until like yesterday. It was still like in the glove box, and I was like, oh shit, Sunday night. I've really got to watch this. And I was so tired, I wanted to watch it on my laptop, but I don't have a CD thing. So I wasted 30 minutes of my time Googling how to connect the Xbox to the laptop through a HDMI. If anyone knows how to do this, can you tell me? Because I couldn't do it.
Okay.
Anyway, and then I went...
You could have just used a telly. So basically,
I want it to be in red.
so basically what we're talking about is already you hate the idea of watching this, you've then put it off to the point where you're always going to hate watching it, and you then put in front of yourself a barrier of technology that was again going to make you hate this film. This is not a level playing field of films, is it?
Anyway,
this is not a level playing field.
Anyway, I gave up with that idea, and I was like, right, it's 10 o'clock now. It's a 2 hour...
No one wants to watch this at 10 o'clock. I don't want to watch this at 10 o'clock.
It's a 2 hour long film.
Yeah.
Tomorrow is Monday. I'm going to have to just sit downstairs and fucking watch it.
Right, so you basically hate watched it. You resentfully hate watched it as if you were breaking up with it and you just hate watched it.
I did. I did.
How am I going to get a reasonable response?
So, chill your beans. I was going to call you Jonathan, but that's factually incorrect.
It is indeed, yes, thank you.
So put it on.
Yeah.
Sat down, put it on.
Yeah.
And then something happened that made me go, ah! Fuck is wrong with this man? That's how I stand. The first scene happened.
Yeah.
And I went, no, stop doing this to me. And what happened was
Stop bashing that.
an awful, disgusting, pale, elderly sex scene. It's like the first thing you see.
Yeah, but you don't see anything.
But I had enough with Amelie. And I was like, no. And it just enraged me. And I just looked at Rory and I went, John's a pervert. John's a pervert. He just keeps giving me porny films.
I'm sorry. It's a scene between a man and his wife on a train, and the whole point of that is then sort of plays out through the film.
Yes, because she gets pregnant.
Exactly. So it's not pointless. It's not there just to say, I'm going to watch Brian Dennehy, who's a man in his 50s. And
I just thought, okay, all right. And then it stopped, and you saw something else, and then it come back, and I went, no!
Well, they were on a train. It then shows the station in the train and things like
They got into the station.
Yeah.
And I was reminded about when I got locked in the loo, and I thought, well, if you can't flush, I'm sure you can't do that when you go into a station. So where's that sign?
We once sent out a search party to try and find Felicity, who'd decided that after going to the toilet couldn't flush in a station, where we then sat for 15 minutes.
The sign says, don't flush.
Yeah.
So what this man's doing in a station...
Look, right, okay, fine. You already hate this because you're in a hateful mood about hating it.
It's fine. So that went away, and I
Yes.
thought, I really hope that that's the end of that.
More or less.
No! No! Anyway...
Yeah.
Him and his wife are Americans, and they moved to Rome, where he's got to do a project. And
Yeah.
the project that he's doing was like... So it was built by someone he really liked, an
Yes.
architect that he loved, and it's all crumbled, and it's his job to rebuild it and do an opening of it.
No.
No? Oh, he's
No.
building something new.
No, he's
In
doing an
dedication.
exhibition about Etienne Louis Boulet.
Oh.
And
But they
he's-
were building stuff.
Yeah, they were building stuff, parts of his architecture as models to show his architecture, because he didn't build very much.
Oh, right, okay.
So he wasn't. They weren't building something in Rome. They were building new things in this exhibition in Rome that was being done in this particular.
But he starts
building.
building stuff.
Yeah.
Does not really matter in the plot whether it's new or old.
Okay.
Because he's building stuff,
Yeah.
isn't he?
Yeah.
And then he starts to worry that he's ill. He starts to worry his wife's having an affair. She actually does. And it just all unravels. And then at the end I went, oh, this is what triggered in your brain to make me watch this. It's because I gave you... Not Walk the Line.
Yeah. Yes.
A Star is Born.
A Star is Born.
So you watched Star is Born, you watched the end, and you went, ooh. Either consciously or unconsciously.
Yeah, no. I
this is the link.
think there was a connection. There was a connection between the end of this and the end of Star is Born.
So they're both about the male mental health issues around
Yes.
that male character. And he becomes really obsessed with stomachs. He starts printing off stomachs, which, by the way, I take massive issue with.
Why?
Right, podcast people, the soz. The photocopier, we know how photocopiers work. The
Yeah.
photocopier is a photocopier. He lifts up the lid, he gets the image,
Yeah.
which is face up,
Yeah.
and he puts it on and he photocopies it, and it wouldn't have worked. He would have got a blank thing come out.
Yeah.
He didn't photocopy it right.
Yeah, that's an irritation of mine in that film.
It's so annoying. And then like 30 of
Right.
these images
let's,
come out.
Let's just say that if you're noticing that, you've completely disengaged from the rest of the film.
No, it's not. It means that I understand technology.
Okay, all right. No, it's.
My mum would have watched that and
Yeah.
never realised.
But this is
I don't
the
think
thing.
she's ever used a photocopier.
But the whole thing with that isn't it's just cinema. Some things in cinema don't. You know, it's
Yeah,
like.
and I don't usually spot those.
Yeah, I know, but
so I was really pleased.
it's like in A Star is Born, you know, turning up backstage and then being thrown out in front of a crowd to sing a song that nobody's rehearsed because they don't know it, and she hasn't finished it, but photocopier, wrong way up, that's your line.
No, because Bradley Cooper clearly sang it to his band and went, "Can you
What?
put an arrangement to it, please?"
The day before, those hours, because it's literally the next day after hearing it for the first time,
Yes.
and they've got an arrangement for the
Yes.
whole song. She doesn't even sing the whole song.
Yes, that happened.
Anyway, carry on with your photocopier issue.
Anyway, so moving apart from the photocopier, he starts getting obsessed with this stuff. And then at the end, she leaves him and she goes off with... And the most irritating thing about this man is I cannot say his name because I want it to be Kasabian or Casper. And it's both. It's both his name.
Caspasian.
His name is a name made out of loads of other names, and it's so annoying.
Okay.
He's Chris Christopherson.
Yeah, he is. He's
He's-
Caspasian.
He doesn't need all those syllables. So anyway,
Caspasian
Caspasian.
Speckler.
Because
I've watched it many times.
oh, that wasn't at you. That was at his
Okay,
imaginary
sorry.
parents.
Okay.
She goes off with him, And it's just, I was watching it and I just, do you know my biggest issue?
What, generally?
Anxiety. No, the biggest...
Inability to manage money.
All of adulting.
Yeah. Right, yeah.
So, my biggest issue with the film was that there's just no need or context. So they're stripping on the train.
Yeah.
Which would lead me to believe they're relatively happy.
Yeah.
There's no context that she's been unfaithful. There's no context that he has mental health issues. And one day, he fucking snaps and becomes a horrible person.
No, it's well, this is the whole thing. It's they get to roam for his dream, and his dream starts to really sour.
But there's no reason. Nothing goes wrong. No, he just starts deciding he's been poisoned, and then like tries to force some figs into her mouth.
Because when he gets there, there's quite a long talk about, and he's already starting to think, I'm this is painful, and I've got these problems in my stomach. And then there's the long conversation about Nero being poisoned or whatever.
But only an insane person. And there's no premise that he has any anxiety or any hypochondria or anything. He seems incredibly stable. They talk about something that he should laugh off, and what it actually does is ruin his life until he kills himself.
I don't think that it's as sudden as that, and I think that there are sort of precursors to what's going on.
Yeah, and they're really obvious. They're not real.
No, but the way that it's framed and the way that it's put together is that he already suspects her of having an affair.
But why? Why? There is no evidence that they're unhappy.
I know. Well,
they're happy. And then he flips out at her.
It's not necessarily that there is any evidence for them being unhappy. It's more about the way he feels with a much younger wife and how he's insecure, and he's come to Rome to do this thing that he's probably not able to do.
I just don't think
in the same way as A Star Is Born.
Yeah.
You've got that sense of this is male pride crumbling.
But I think it's so much more shown and invested. I think you have a man who's very successful. He's moving halfway across the world. That's not something that someone does if they're not quite confident in their own abilities.
No, but it is. It's something men do because they're full of bluster and idiocy.
No, but he's not full of bluster and idiocy. He's played as a very stable, intelligent character, and then he randomly goes mental, and I don't buy it.
You know what? I think this is an interesting sort of counterpoint to our argument about A Star Is Born.
Yeah.
That I didn't buy any of that.
I don't buy this one. I don't buy it. And what also was happening is that everyone in Rome is awful, according to this film. None of them were pleasant. All of them were just awful, awful people. Like, out to get him.
The father wasn't awful. Caspasian and his daughter's father
He also wasn't really...
awful.
They were all so bland. They were either awful or bland, and they were all terrible actors and actresses around them. The only good thing about the film was the chap.
Brian Dennehy.
He was a very good actor, but I don't think anyone else was necessary. It's a little bit like that. What's that when Sandra Bullock's in the space by herself for 2 hours?
Gravity?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I felt it was a bit like Gravity. I didn't really realise anyone was around, apart from when they can be a bit scene dressing. And one of the problems with Peter Greenaway's movies is that they can be emotionless in sort of the background characters can be a bit sort of emotionless and it all hangs on the emotion of one particular character to then lead the movie through. And then, like, his wife, I just think that there wasn't any... I also don't see that they would be married, that they would move across the world together. That's quite stable, that's quite committed. And then she finds out she's pregnant, again, quite stable, quite committed. She never worries that he's sick. She never cares or asks what's wrong with him or goes with him to the doctors. She never sort of worries that he's stressed or is supportive. What she does is she leaves and goes and sleeps with someone else whilst his child is in her belly, and I found skin crawling.
She's left before she finds out she's pregnant.
skin crawling. No.
No, she does, because she comes in and tells him that she's pregnant and she's already left him.
No. She tells
Caspasian.
God, I can't do it. Casper. He's Casper now.
Casper the ghost. Casper the friendly knobber.
She tells Casper, the incredibly friendly to other people's wives ghost,
Indeed.
that she's putting on more weight and looking more Roman. And he says, yes, you are. And then he says, you'll be very beautiful as your pregnancy kicks in when they're in the window. And then she says, I'm surprised it's taken you this long to hit on me.
Yeah.
So she knows that she's pregnant.
Yes.
And then she decides to sleep with
But-
Caspinadian.
But it's all the sort of the hypochondria and stuff like that is happening because of that connection between him and Boulay, the architect, that he starts writing to, and he starts sort of putting down his thoughts, which I think are really affecting. I think that's beautifully written and
I think
and it's
that's
beautifully
interesting.
staged.
I
And
think it was visually pretty, and everything.
Pretty.
It sort of looked like paintings, the way it moved, and the people in the background being a bit more still, so I liked it, like, visually.
I adore the soundtrack.
Soundtrack was nice. I didn't adore it, but it fitted.
Yeah, and there's
It
a
was
couple
really
of
nice.
tracks
It
that were
added
oddly
the
pulled
stuff.
out and made into dance tracks in the 90s.
Strange. And then he randomly sleeps with Thingy's sister, Kasabian's sister,
Yes.
which I hated because he sees she's taken loads of photos that he finds, and it confirms that his wife's having an affair. But there are also loads of photos of him as well. And I think in that moment, and this is just personal, fine, everyone
Yeah.
reacts differently, and he's crushed and he's heartbroken, and then she takes off her gown and shows her enormous bush. Can we just give that some time? Whoa!
It's the 80s.
Can we give that some time, please? And like pulls him behind some curtain and tries to sex him. And then there's more awfulness, just full frontal, really uncomfortable. I don't want to be watching this.
Yeah,
you
but
see
it's-
some hairy testicles.
I know, but it's not meant to be erotic. It's hate sex.
I don't want it to be.
It's angry. It's,
No,
it's
but
like desperation. It's.
But I don't think it came off as that because he was really slow and really like he didn't look like it looked like raping. It looked like she was just giving him a bit of a raping. He didn't like get her and be like, "Oh, I'm angry." It wasn't passionate like that. It was just like
No, it was desperation. It was sadness.
It felt like
was
desperation. It felt like he was sad and she went, "Hey, look at me bush."
Incidentally, the piece of music that's playing during that and that sequence where he's looking
Kate
at
Bush.
pictures. No.
But if it had been, that would have been great.
I was just going to say is one of my favourite sequences in the whole film, right up until the point where
No.
everything gets, the montage of images and the music and the
Yeah,
music's
yeah.
rising. It's that piano piece, and it's I think the actual name of the piece is "Struggle for Pleasure,"
Okay.
and it's just everything comes together just in that beautiful moment, the insistent piano and the images and the red tape and just the sort of framing of it, and then every now and again they look outside and it's this bizarre architectural thing that's outside that, and then looks back. It's just
Do you know what I wanted?
what
I wanted to
an
see
explosion.
I wanted to see 2 years later
Yeah,
Mrs. Wife on her own
yeah.
with a screaming baby. Because the whole time I'm watching this, and this Caspadian
Yeah,
is stroking her belly going, "Oh, you're so beautiful, pregnant." I was like, he didn't have a fucking clue what babies are like. And the second it comes out and it's screaming and there's diapers everywhere, he's
But-
going to leave.
but he's not there
He's
for
gonna
her.
leave.
He's there to get the exhibition, to
Yeah.
get one over on Cracklight,
That's what I mean.
and to destroy him.
That's what I mean. I wanted to see her discovering Cracklight at the end.
Yeah.
And I wanted to see her 2 months later when she's all alone because I despised her.
Right.
I despised her. I despised everyone apart from him. And at moments I despised him.
But that's one of the points of the film. You're not meant to like any of these people. They're all
Well,
broken and
it
damaged
was
and
miserable.
just...
You know how you turned off Nancy Farmer because you went,
Yeah.
"This is miserable."
Yeah.
I got half an hour in and went, "I don't want to watch this."
Well,
This
yeah,
is
had
miserable.
to. I
It's
turned off
miserable.
Nancy Farmer after 6 hours.
I could not have done 6 hours of The Architect's Belly.
Anyway, right, so let's do some scoring, shall we? Do you want to start?
I don't even know.
Out of 10.
I don't know, and I haven't thought about it. Because, like, at the end,
Notice I've got arms folded for this. It's
at
like-
the end, I wanted to know what had happened.
So
and I got
actually drew
into
you
it,
in.
and he was walking up, and I was going, "He's going to do it. That's what he's going to. No, don't do it. He's going to
Yeah.
do that." And I was like, "Is he going to land on her? Is he going to land on her? That's show her, isn't it?"
You see, I'm getting a feeling that you're having the same sort of reaction that I got from Billie Eilish. I didn't like it, but I appreciated it. I appreciated the work that went into it, and I
Yeah.
appreciated the beauty of it, and I appreciated the sort of...
I appreciated his acting skills,
It-
and I thought
it
it was
is-
visually nice. I
Yeah.
didn't like the plot.
Yeah.
Because I thought this is rubbish. This has
Yeah.
come from nowhere. I don't see any evidence for this. I don't buy
Yeah.
it. It might be like a 4.
It's fine. You watched it hatefully. You started it in nowhere near the right frame of mind.
I don't think there's any right frame of mind to watch that many shots of Old Man Winky and massive bush.
Right, well,
never in
let
that
me
frame
shock
of
you.
mind.
No,
I'm never in that frame of mind.
okay, thank you for that. A 4.
I honestly-
A 4 for The Belly of an Architect.
I think so.
I'm not going to give you another Peter Greenaway for some considerable
Please
time.
don't. It's not my thing. And can we stop? Can we stop with the lewd scenes now?
What do you mean the lewd scenes?
lewd.
Lewd. Are you a maiden aunt? Lewd.
That was lewd. They are
Well, I'm sorry.
lewd.
I'm sorry. I'm giving
Amelie
you.
was
I'm
lewd,
giving
that
you.
was
I'm giving you
lewd.
adult stories for adults.
I'm not an adult.
I can tell.
I'm gonna go with the dolly now.
Okay. Point to the dolly. Yeah. Okay. Well, in that case, no, that's
see
fine.
it.
Right. So 4 for The Belly of an Architect.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to give.
For the podcast people, I'm rubbing my hands.
I'm going to give Lily Allen 10 out of 10.
Yes! Yes!
Finally, after all of this time, the best mark I've given you ever was probably for Green Day.
Yes, which was
was
an 8.
8.
Yes.
I much preferred this to Green Day.
Oh, I wish I was a man, because I could do the football thing.
Please don't.
No, I'm not going.
Just
That's
please
why
don't.
I'm sat. That's
Okay,
why I'm
good,
sat.
good.
But in my head.
Yeah, you've done football thing.
Yes.
No, I even with the misstep of you're a window shopper, which I just thought was unnecessarily cruel.
But quite funny.
Yeah, it was. Like, I could see what she was trying for. It was just a bit cruel. Even with that, there was so much charm in everything else, and so beautifully written that she is
fantastic.
she's a British genius.
Yeah,
It's
she
just
is.
so British.
She is. She
So
is.
there you go. So 10 out of 10 for Lily Allen.
We
Well
love
done,
you,
Lily.
Lily.